Fifty Shades Dark 2017 dares to turn up the heats with romance, danger, and obsession colliding in the world of the passion and suspense. But it is truly a must-watch or just a glossy mess? Can love survive when secret and shadows threaten to turn it apart? This sequel promised darker thrills and steamier moments, yet the real question is whether it is a deliver substance beyond seductions. Is Fifty Shades Dark the guilty pleasure you can be waiting for or a forgettable ride you can skip? Fifty Shades Dark, released in 2017, is a romantic thriller directed by James Foley, who is known for his work Our House or Cards and films like Glengarry Glen Rose. The movie belongs to the romance and drama grain with heavy elements of erotic thriller containing the conversing tone set by its processor. It was produced by Universal Pictures with Evil James' husband, Neil Leonard, writing the screenplay which was based directly on James' best-selling 15 Shades trilogy. The film starred Dakota Johnson and Anesthesia Steele and Jamie Dornan as Christian Grey, reprising their roles from Fifty Shades of Grey. Supporting cast members include Kane Basinger as Lena Lincoln, Christian's former lover and business partner, and Bella Hartnett as Ella Williams, an ex-submissive who adds a darker, suspenseful angle to the plot. Eric Johnson also joins the cast as Jack Hyatt, anesthesia boss, who introduced no love layer to tension and threat. As a direct sequel to Fifty Shades of Grey, this film picks up where the previous story left off, focused on Christian's temper to win and back when revealing more of his troubled past. It is also set the stage for the final chapter, Fifty Shades Freed, being an adaptation of the second novel in the novel's best-selling book series. The film carried both high commercial expectations and significant secrecy from fans and critics alike. Before its release, Fifty Shades Dark generated massive buzz, largely due to the popularity of the novel and of the box office success of the first film. Marketing highlighting to the promise of the darker movie in intense storyline with high emotional stakes and more in erotic entries. Anti-septicism was particularly strong among fans eager to see how the sequel would explain of the romance and dress Christian vulnerabilities. Throat skippers from critic remained high, expecting more styling than substance. Anesthesia still has left Christian Grey behind, determined to reclaim her independence and focus on her new career. Despite their separations and connection between them linger, pulling them back into each other's orbit. Christian, desperate for another chance, tries to win Anna back with promise of change. Their rekindled relationship began crucially, with new boundaries and a deeper search for trust. As their romance heats up again, shadows from Christian's past begin to surface. Figures from his history threaten to disrupt the fragile balance they are trying to build. With love and dangerous colliding, Anna Best must decide how much she is willing to risk for a future with Christian. The tension between passion and fear ground, setting the stage of begin challenge had a stories and pacing. The stories of Fifty Shades Darker attempt to strike a balance between reclaimed romance and the thread-like tension introduced by Christian past. On one hand, its delivery and emotional break of key fans and professionals invested in Christian's and Anna's evolving relationship. The film explores themes of vulnerability and trust and second chances, which could have been deeply compelling if not overshadowed by melodramatic supports. The plot's progress is serviceable, but after film manufacture with conflicts appearing and resolving too quickly to carry real dramatic weight. When it is coming on pacing, the movie struggles with constantly. Some scenes drag with longer than necessary, especially in moments focused heavily on lavish setting or drowned with conversations without much payoff. However, moments of tension with characters from Christian's past help to inject energy and suspense, keeping the audience brief struggles of interest. Unfortunately, their birds are evenly distributed, leaving stretches that feed repetitive of indulgent rather than repairing B performance and characters. Dakota Johnson emerges as the strongest performance in the film. She brings on a mix of quiet strength and visibility that make the character from more engaging than the writing provides. Her stubble expressions and ability of to ground the emotional moment and credibility to an otherwise exaggeratory narrative. Jamie Dornan will magnetic and physical presence. Performance after struggle to convey and layering torment of Christians, coming across more static than complex. Still, his chemistry with Johnson remained the film anchor, giving their relationship at least a surface level intensity. Sporting performance and hit or missing basinger as Elena Lincoln offer a call in enigmatic persons, but her limited screen time prevents her from becoming the formidable force she could have been. Bella Hadkerton and Eric Johnson inject tension as Lella and Jack. Throughout their arrows feel rushed and underdevelopment overall, will the cast attempt to break life into their roles. The writing keeps most characters from being fully believing or emotional flushed out. See visual and ceramical calligraphy. Visually, the film relied heavily on the sleek, polished aesthetic. The color palette favored muted grays, silvers, and deep blue, and reflecting the moodiness of Christian world while offering a glossy finish. Camera work after focus on close-up and intermediate framing, emphasizing the senility between Christians and Anna. These visual choices underline the personal nature of their story, but at times it feels overly straight, prioritizing style over authenticity. Set designs play a significant role of shipping of the attempted Christian luxurious apartment Anna's modern office, and lavish party sequence showcase wealth and opulence that dominate and visual narrative. While these spaces are undeniably eye-catching, they cannot directions from the emotional chords of the story. A few standout shots, such as weeping cityscapes or candle or hit sequels, linger in the mind, but the overall play it safe rather than pushing creative boundaries. The sounds and music. The soundtrack of Fifty Shades Darker play a crucial role in the creating atmosphere. Pop and R&B track from artists like Taylor Swift, James and Swizing of a sense of modern flair and emotional resonance or okay moment. These songs often evaluate scenes filling in the emotional gaps left by the writing. The songs composed by Daniel Elfman weaves in the stable tension and sensuality, com- complementing the mood without overpowering it. Sound designs adds texture to the film, particularly in intimate scenes where silence and minimal effect allow the dialogues and chemistry to shine. Moment of suspense benefit from Shepard's audio cues such as a heightened breath of or sudden shift in tone that contribute to a sense of unease. While it music, the sound element do enter the film. They sometimes feel like they are working harder than the negative in itself to sustain emotional impact. Theme and emotional impact. The central theme of the film revolves around control, trust, and possibility of the temper. It asks whether love can heal wounds born from a trauma and whether vulnerability is a strength rather than a weakness. These are rich aesthetic ideas, but the actual often feels shallow, with conflicts resolved too easily for the depth the theme deserves. The presence of orthographic character tied to Christian's past adds a layer of danger, yet the explosions of trauma and obsessions is not given the nuances it requires. Emotionally, the movie leaves a mixed impression. Fans invested in the romance may feel satisfied with the moment of intimacy and reconciliations. However, for others, the emotional stakes may not resonate deeply due to formulaic handling of conflict and resolutions where there are flashes of tension that might linger, particularly regarding Anna's struggle for independence within the relationship. The overall emotional impact fades quickly after the character role F unique oppositions behind the scenes. The film had some notable shifts that shapes its final form. James Foley stepping in as director, marking a change from same Taylor Johnson vision in the first film, which led off a different tonal approach. Additionally, the screenplay being written by Neil Lerner, A.L. James' husband, meant the adaptation staying close to the source material, but often at the expense of the threat enigmatic story. This production choice explaining much film uneven tone as it feels more like for which than a reference stand-alone movie comparing it to other romantic thrillers. And Fifty Shades Dark lack the sharp storying of film, like basing interesting of the grounded emotional pull of more conventional romances. Instead, it exists as a hybrid of melodrama and glossy fantasy, aiming squarely at fans of the novel. Personally, watching it feels more like observing as a cultural phenomenon than experiencing a great film. It was entertaining in bursts, but then indulgent style and uneven and execution modern it more of duality pleasure than the truly satisfying cinematic journey. Fifty Shades Darker is ultimately a mess, scoring 5 out of 10 stars. Will it offer polished visual, a strong soundtrack and moment of chemistry between Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan. The story suffers from thin writing and uneven pacing and underdevelopment subplot. The film delivers surface-level thrill and glossy romance, but fails to provide the depth of suspense that could not have availed it beyond duality pleasure entertainment. This movie will most appeal to fans of the Fifty Shades novel or those who enjoyed the first film and invested in Christian and Anne's story. Viewers seeking a gripping thriller, meaningful character development, or a romance with genuine emotional weight will likely be disappointed. It works best for audiences who enjoy stylized melodrama and are willing of embrace spectacle over substance. So is Fifty Shades Darker worth watching or not? Share your verdict in the comments and let you know if you think that sequel live up to the hype. If you are looking for another film that blends romance with intensity, check out Fifty Shades Freed as the final chapter in the trilogy. Be sure to subscribe for more reviews and stay tuned for the next breakdown.